Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to TNA Sacrifice 2014 in our TNA series here. I, of course, am Sierra Daredevil, bringing you all of the live action. As tonight we have Magnus defending the TNA World Heavyweight Championship against Will-O-the-Wisp. We have a tables match between Bobby Roode and Bully Ray. We have the Knockouts Championship on the line as the beautiful people continue to explode or implode, with Madison Rayne defending against Angelina Love. We have the tag team titles on the line in a 2-on-3 handicap match featuring the American Wolves taking on the Bromans, and so much more. So I hope you guys are ready for this show. We're going to dive right into the action here. We open up with a pre-show match featuring Austin Aries defeating Crazy Steve in 8:16 by pinfall 450 splash. 58 rating for the match, 67 from Aries, 34 from Crazy Steve. Just a way to get Aries booked on the show, even if it wasn't a pre-show match. And at the same time, a way to get Bobby Lashley booked on the show. A pre-show bout that didn't have much heat and terrible wrestling. Bobby Lashley defeats Trevor in 7:18 by submission with the Dragon Sleeper. 43 rated for the match, 47 from Lashley, who was really off his game, 28 from Trevor Lee. Lashley, really off his game tonight. So, I don't know. I want to do stuff with Lashley, but his in-ring, or his rating right now, even when he wasn't really off his game, his rating's not super great. So, I'm going to have to start slowly making that push to get him up to more of a upper mid-card / main eventer status, if I want to do that. Kind of like how he was in real life TNA, where he, held the title and kind of dominated for a while, but we'll just have to keep building him up. Go from there. Anyway, in front of 22,457 people at the BB&T Center in Florida, we open up with Samoa Joe coming out to the ring immediately, like right after the video package for the show and all that stuff. Joe just comes out, and he says that he doesn't want to wait all night for to get his hands on Abyss. He wants him to come out right now for the match. So the Samoa Joe Abyss match is going to open up the show here tonight. And that match gets a 72 rating as Joe defeats Abyss in 10:58 by submission with a coquina clutch. 72 rating there, 68 from Abyss, 65 from Joe. Good stuff there as we get the crowd nice and hot for the start, or for Sacrifice here tonight. Yeah. I thought about having some sort of outside interference or whatever, but at the end of the day, I was just like, I'll just have Joe win cleanly. He lost, he lost the 4-way title match, and then he lost the 1-on-1 rematch because of interference, and so his momentum was kind of cooling a little bit, so I was like, let's get him a clean victory on pay-per-view. Plus, it will make sense for future stuff coming up, so there's that. After that, we get a brief little backstage interaction between Colt Cabana and Eric Young. The two are kind of talking with each other a little bit. It's kind of one of those things that it's like, we're not too far off, we're kind of similar to each other, well, not completely similar, but this is EY who's still, he's not the EY that's scared of his, scared of pyro and all that stuff. He's kind of worked up a little bit of courage from there, but he's still, he's still kind of a goofy guy and fun-loving kind of guy, and just trying to prove himself. And Colt Cabana is trying to prove himself as well, being freshly, being recently signed to TNA, or to TNA, and trying to get himself some opportunities here in the company. And so they kind of have a little bit of a promo with each other backstage, kind of making fans kind of wonder about a few things with it. So after that, we get Christy Hemme speaking for Samuel Shaw before his matchup with Mr. Anderson. It is revealed that the match is going to be a last man standing match. I tried looking for something for throughout the matches on there, and last man standing was the one I came up with. So there is that. And we are turning Christy Actually, we're going to hold off on the heel thing. I don't really need to turn her heel, but I was going to anyway. But then I realized her gimmick is still a fan favorite. I should probably change that before I do the heel thing, because that'd be kind of weird for her to officially be heel, but be a fan favorite thing. So she's still technically a heel at this point. I just haven't officially done it in the game yet. Anyway, after this promo is the match itself, which gets a 54. Not bad. Confusingly, Samuel Shaw and Chris Damier are on a different side. Yeah, whatever. It's whatever. Mr. Anderson defeats Samuel Shaw in a last man standing match at 9:50 when Shaw couldn't beat a 10 count after a mic check. 57 from Anderson, 31 from Samuel Shaw. Shaw was really off his game, which kind of sucks. A couple people are really off their game today. Kind of sucks there. Chris Damier did go work a ringside, so that's good to see. But yeah, 54 ratings, not terrible. This is a storyline that I'm probably not going to be continuing too much. I didn't end it with this match, but I'm probably not going to be continuing it too much into the future. I kind of have some slight other plans for Mr. Anderson, so we'll kind of see what happens. Kenny King barges into MVP's office and he says that enough is enough. He wants a title shot against Sonata, the X Division champion, here tonight. Says that he deserves it, that he's been dealing with all of the BS that MVP has been putting him through lately, including that match with Bobby Lashley. And so he deserves a shot at the X Division championship, especially since there's no announced match for it tonight. And MVP goes, you know what? You're right. There is no announced match for the X Division Championship here tonight. So I will tell you what I will do. Tonight, it will be Sonata defending the title against Kenny King. And he's like, yeah, he's excited about it. And he goes, and Homicide. And Kenny King's like, wait, what? And MVP goes, and Jay Lethal. It's going to be a fatal 4-way matchup for the X Division Championship here tonight. And King is not happy. He's getting a title shot at least, but he's not happy that he has to fight 3 men tonight instead of just 1 to try to get the title. So that's a match that got announced last minute there. Fatal 4-way match for the X Division Championship. It kind of got teased a little bit on Explosion. Homicide and Sonata went at it, and Lethal came out to help Sonata afterwards because Homicide was attacking him. So, and Kenny King was at ringside. Well, not at ringside, but he was at the desk doing color commentary for the match. So there you go. 4-way matchup here tonight for the X Division Championship. After that, we get our James Storm and Gunner matchup, in which James Storm defeats Gunner in 10:39 by pinfall with an 8-second ride. 61 rating for the match. 59 from Storm, 47 from Gunner. Yeah. This was just my way of tying up their storyline. Different plans for James Storm. Not sure if I really have any other plans for Gunner, but we'll see. But I don't plan on doing what they did in real life, which is having them start to form a team and then end up winning the tag titles. Not really in my plans. So we'll kind of see what happens from here. After that, we get a promo backstage with Jeremy Borash interviewing Bad Influence, who say that they haven't really been around the last few weeks, but they are looking at they're going to be watching the tag team title matchup pretty closely here tonight because, they haven't been around in a while, but they haven't been really booked that much, whatever, but, well, not, they don't say booked, but they haven't been around for the last few weeks or so, and they want to get themselves back into tag title contention, so they kind of put that out there. 53 rating for the promo, not too bad. After that, we get our Knockouts title match in which Madison Rayne defeats Angelina Love in 10:04 by pinfall with a raindrop. 50 rating for the matchup. Rayne makes defense number 1 of the Knockouts title. 50 from Rayne, 31 from Angelina Love. Velvet Sky was at ringside towards the end of the match. She didn't really get involved in the finish, which is why I didn't put it as that. But towards the end of the match, Katrina came out and just kind of kept Velvet from getting involved in the match itself. Provided a little bit of a distraction, but it wasn't what led to the finish, so that's why you don't see it in there. But yeah, it's Madison ranking a title defense on pay-per-view. After that, Willow is cutting a promo where you just see his hand holding the Willow mask. And he's kind of talking about how, kind of starting off in a weirdo kind of way. I just realized I spoiled it a little bit there. He's talking about things in a weirdo kind of way over before he says, you know what, enough is enough. This Willow thing is just, it's not working out. It's not what I want to do anymore. And so the camera kind of pans up because the whole time it was just kind of looking at the mask in his hand. He's like, I believe it's time to go back to what got me the success I've had. It's time to go back from being this crazed, from being this alter ego to just being myself again. And the camera pans up and you just see Jeff Hardy with a painted face and everything. And he's talking about how tonight he plans to become the TNA World Heavyweight Champion. But of course, with Magnus having Abyss watching his back, he's got to have somebody he can trust watching his back. And that person who is standing beside him, the camera kind of pans out to show both people. And that person is none other than his brother, Matt freaking Hardy. Matt Hardy is signed here in TNA. And he's going to be managing Jeff tonight in his... he's going to be in Jeff's corner tonight for the TNA World Heavyweight Championship match. So this is the mystery person that MVP said was going to be in Jeff's corner. So Jeff Hardy has his brother Matt in his corner tonight against Magnus, who will have Abyss in his corner. So pretty big news there. Matt Hardy is officially in TNA, and he's gonna be signed with, he's gonna be watching his brother's back tonight as Jeff challenges for the World Heavyweight Championship. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with that. After that, in the 2-on-3 handicap match for the TNA World Tag Team titles, the American Wolves get the victory over the Bromans in 10:45 when Edwards submits Jesse with an Achilles lock. I couldn't put the titles on the line because the game is like, you can't put the tag titles on the line in a 2-on-3 match. So you'll see what I do afterwards. But yeah, so Eddie Edwards and Davey Richards are your new TNA World Tag Team Champions. 51 ready for the match. 53 from Eddie. 55 from Davey Richards. 44 from DJZ. 27 from Robbie E. And 28 from Jesse. Yeah. It is what it is. I didn't have plans of the Bromans keeping the tag titles past Sacrifice anyway. I got to build them up some more before I can consider them a legitimate team in our tag team division. So we'll see how things play out. And afterwards, I just did a promo where they were celebrating their title victory and had the title just change hands there. So, and interestingly enough, while they're celebrating, Taz kind of at the desk kind of brings up how Bad Influence was talking earlier about keeping an eye on this tag title matchup. So now Bad Influence clearly has the Wolves to deal with. So kind of teasing the idea that Bad Influence and the American Wolves could start interacting with each other. So there's a nice little teaser for that. After that, in the 4-way X Division Championship matchup, Jay Lethal defeats Homicide, Kenny King, and Sonata in 9:14 with Lethal pins Kenny King with a lethal combination to win the X Division Championship. 53 rated for the match, 50 from Homicide, 44 from Jay Lethal, 38 from Kenny King, 42 from Sonata. Yeah, I didn't really want to drop the belt from Sonata, but I also didn't want to cheat to get his popularity up. So I'm probably going to start trying to build him up until I can get him to at least recognizable status popularity-wise, and then, then have him be a serious contender or possibly even win back the title. But it was kind of hard because most of the X Division is set as unimportant right now. Or at least most of the people that won the X Division are set to unimportant right now. So it was kind of like, well, I can't really have Sonata, who's unimportant popularity, defending against somebody else who's unimportant, because then the crowd's just going to dump all over it. So I gave it to somebody who's at least recognizable right now, which is Jay Lethal. Plus, I kind of wanted Jay Lethal to get the title anyway, but gave it to him for now. Maybe Sonata gets it back later on, but I got to kind of build up the X Division a little bit. So we'll have to see how that plays out. But new X Division champion. I apologize if my throat is sounding weird today. I don't know what's going on, but yeah. New X Division champion and Jay Lethal. And we'll have to see what that means for the X Division heading forward. And we'll have to see what that means for Kenny King heading forward, because he not only did he demand this matchup, but he was the one that got pinned in the match. So we'll have to see what that means. After that, kind of important segment. MVP comes into the ring, and you don't really see it here, but Kenny King is kind of staring daggers at him as he leaves, because it's kind of right after the match. And MVP is, kind of hyping up the show a little bit, talking about how exciting it is that we've had 2 title changes so far tonight and all that stuff. And Dixie comes out and says that she doesn't know what any of this excitement is, going on over, because clearly MVP is continuing to abuse his power. He just made Kenny King, a guy who deserved a 101 X Division Championship matchup, have to fight 2 other men in that matchup to try to win the title. He's purposely put Kenny King through a bunch of bad, rough situations lately. He's purposely put Magnus, the TNA World Heavyweight Champion that everybody should respect and love, through a bunch of bad situations lately. And MVP's like, yeah, but Magnus has kept the title because he's been cheating to keep it. And Dixie's like, yeah, he's had to resort to that because you keep putting him in situations that he doesn't deserve to be in. And so Dixie's running him down. Dixie's running MVP down for the way he's been handling things lately. And MVP goes like, well, yeah, but I'm the one who's got the authority right now in TNA. And Dixie's like, yeah, but I'm still the owner. And so they're having a little bit of an argument when you all of a sudden hear, for the first time in almost a year, well, I think it's like 6 months, you hear the music of Eric Bischoff. Bischoff comes out from the back, and the crowd's like, what the hell? This is awesome. Bischoff comes out from the back, gets a mic, and he says that he's like, I was forced to leave this company months ago, and this is the state that the management here in TNA is in right now. You two bickering on pay-per-view in front of this crowd that just wants to see some in-ring action. You guys are sitting here bickering like this on live pay-per-view. He's like, you guys have no idea how to run a successful wrestling company. What the hell? Like, he's basically just berating both of them. And Dixie's like, well, I'm the owner of the company. And Bischoff is like, yeah, because your daddy bought it for you. And everybody's like, oh. And MVP just kind of smirks a little bit. And Bischoff's like, I don't know why you're smirking. You're out here claiming that you're the authority for the people and doing everything you can for the people. But you're out here putting lots of people through hell just because they looked at you badly, or just because they weren't on your side in the lockdown situation or whatever. You're not booking people that deserve to be booked and all that. And MVP just kind of loses the smirk a little bit, and he's like, yeah, but I'm the authority figure here. And Bischoff's like, yeah, we're going to be having a discussion about that, because I came from the actual board of directors. And it turns out that they want me to make sure that there's some changes here in this company. And that's going to be starting this Thursday on Impact. And everybody's just like, whoa, what? And Bischoff just kind of drops the mic at that point and leaves the ring. So Apparently, Bischoff is being tasked by the board of directors to make some changes here in TNA. We don't know what. We're gonna have to wait and see, but it's crazy. It's gonna be crazy. But Eric Bischoff is back in TNA, and he's promising some changes that are gonna start at least this coming Thursday. So we'll have to see what that means. Yeah, I'm not gonna spoil anything, so we'll have to see what that means this coming Thursday on Impact. Well, in the game, that is. After that, we get a brief little Chris Sabin promo, who he's kind of talking about how he hasn't been doing a whole lot lately, but he's planning to make that change. He planning to make that change, in the near future, and even kind of mentions Jay Lethal a little bit. Says that he's happy for Lethal coming back and winning the X Division Championship, but maybe he'll come after that belt again, or maybe he'll change his focus and go after Magnus and the world title. He's like, you never know what Chris Sabin has planned. Kind of just teasing out a little bit of the future for Chris Sabin here. After that, we get the tables matchup in which Bobby Roode defeats Bully Ray in 12:35 when Bully was put through the table, thanks to Dixie Carter coming out and distracting Bully Ray. 74 rating for the match itself. 66 from Roode, 68 from Bully. Yeah, Bobby Roode getting some revenge for what he was prevented from doing at Lockdown. Getting some revenge on Bully Ray here. We continue the little bit of an issue between Dixie and Bully. But yeah, Bobby Roode getting the victory here tonight, which is kind of big. He gets a pretty big victory. There's some plans of the future for both men. Kind of still interacting with each other, as well as some other stuff planned. So we'll have to see what that all leads to. After that, Bully Ray chases Dixie up the ramp. Obviously upset. I mean, he's not like he doesn't immediately roll out of the ring and all that because he's put through a table. But as he's recovering, while Bobby Roode is celebrating in the ring, he kind of starts slowly walking up the ramp after Dixie until EC3 comes from out of nowhere and jumps him to make the save. Kind of beating him down enough that Dixie can get out of there. And of course, with Bully Ray being put through a table and going through a kind of a grueling matchup there with Bobby Roode, he's weak enough that EC3 is able to lay him out and kind of stand tall over him. So EC3 coming to his aunt's aid there and taking Bully Ray down. So we'll have to see what that leads to in the future. After that, we get a surprise where the camera's kind of panning around the crowd as the commentators are kind of hyping up the main event, which is coming up next, when all of a sudden we see a familiar face in the crowd. It is Johnny Imp. Well, we know him as John Hennigan, but he is seen sitting in the crowd, and No Name Bar comes up. He's going to be Johnny Impact, but at this time we don't know his name officially. But yeah, the crowd kind of goes a little crazy because we see John Hennigan sitting in the crowd watching the show, and he kind of smiles. It's your typical like NXT takeover thing where they always had like somebody show up in the crowd and everybody went crazy about it kind of thing. It's basically what that is. So there you go. John Hennigan apparently going to be here in Impact Wrestling. Well, going to be here in TNA Wrestling, that is. I'm going to be calling it back and forth between the two of them. I don't plan on changing it to Impact Wrestling, but it's probably going to be a thing. I'm going to keep calling it that every now and then anyway. So, but yeah, Johnny Impact here in TNA, apparently. So another big surprise for the night. Then after that, we get MVP coming out. Remember, he did say that he was going to be out here during the main event to make sure that no outside interference happened. Abyss and Matt Hardy are the only two people allowed at ringside because Abyss is technically not under TNA payroll, so MVP couldn't really ban him from ringside, and so that he countered it by making sure that he had Matt Hardy join, be at ringside for his brother, so that way now it's fair. But everybody else, if anybody else from Team Dixie or anybody else on the roster interferes in the matchup, then he's going to suspend them immediately and indefinitely as well. But he comes out to, be at ringside for that. And the main event gets a 69 rating. 69, nice. Yeah, kind of rough. But Magnus defeats Jeff Hardy in 12:47 by pinfall to Tormentum following interference from Abyss, who took out, Abyss and Matt Hardy were kind of fighting about on the outside a little bit when Abyss got the upper hand, and then kind of distracted / hit Jeff Hardy, basically kind of hit Jeff Hardy enough that Magnus was able to get the victory, making defense number 3 of the TNA World Heavyweight title. 69 rating, 73 from Jeff Hardy, 61 from Magnus. Match had very little drama of flow to it, as nobody in the ring had the psychology to take control properly. I didn't realize until after I booked the match that both of these men have ratings of psychology below 60. So I was like, welp, this is already going to be a troublesome match. But I'll still take a 69, I guess, out of it. Some good work at ringside for everybody. Mickey technically shouldn't have been there ringside, but I just didn't take her off for the night, so just ignore that she did go work at ringside because she wasn't actually there. But yeah, so Magnus able to get the victory. Nobody from outside of Abyss interfered, but technically, Abyss is still not a member of the TNA roster. He's still just working for Magnus specifically, so he was allowed to get involved, and they found a loophole around MVP's whole thing. After that, the Hardys get attacked by the rest of Team Dixie, who start beating down, an already weakened Jeff Hardy, and Matt Hardy starts getting beaten down as well. Joe comes running out to make the save, but eventually the numbers game gets to him, and Joe starts getting beaten down enough until we get this mysterious figure video playing on the Titantron, and everybody's like, wait, that's right, he said Sacrifice, he said he was coming to Sacrifice. So everybody's freaking out, going crazy, as Team Dixie continues to beat down the Hardys and Joe. And then the video stops playing, and you hear some all too familiar music as AJ Styles is back in TNA. Styles comes running out to make the save, fighting with Team Dixie as the odds get evened up with this, and the show TNA Sacrifice 2014 goes off the air with Team Dixie reeling in shock as AJ Styles stands in the middle of the ring with Joe and the Hardys slowly getting to their feet. Styles is back, and everybody's going crazy for it. Everybody's going insane for it as AJ Styles is back in TNA, and we'll have to see what that means heading forward for sure. 56 rating for the segment, not strong, but I think it's because Spud was involved in that, and EC3 because he's kind of lower rating right now too. Gets us an overall rating of a 68. Not bad. Increased popularity in 9 regions. Could have gained popularity in 5 Mexican regions, but we don't have restricted viewership there. But yeah, it wasn't fantastic. Definitely had some really strong matches throughout the show. Bobby Roode and Bully Ray having that tables match got a 74. Joe and Abyss got a 72. We had some strong matches, but overall, not too bad of a show. It gained us popularity, and that's what's more important. So, Sacrifices in the books. New people coming to TNA. We have Matt Hardy here in TNA now. Eric Bischoff has made his return after months. We have Johnny Impact apparently here in TNA. We have the return of AJ Styles. We have a new X Division champion in Jay Lethal. We have new tag team champions in the American Wolves. A whole bunch of crazy stuff happened with Sacrifice, and now is when, as I've mentioned, the roads start, or the universes start to diverge, and we start to see what yours truly is going to be booking TNA heading forward. So, thank you for watching. Definitely appreciate it. A little bit longer than normal, but to be fair, there was a lot to go over in this show, and hopefully you guys enjoyed it. So thank you, and we will catch you guys next time for the first Impact that Eric Bischoff is promising some changes in. So we'll have to see what that means. But thank you for watching, and we'll catch you guys all next time.